Okay, so yes, it's been a long while since I've done a video, and I thought I'd just bring you guys back here. Now, just an update. Nothing's really been going on, just day-to-day work stuff. So there hasn't really been anything that I thought on the channel would be much good to do a video based on, to be fair. Yes, I did some car bits, and then that went stagnant. Apologies for that, but the cars just kind of took a back seat while I've been busy with work and day-to-day life and things like that, same as everybody. And the car, potentially, I put the feelers out that it's up for sale now. Some people may have seen on the internet, I only actually did it yesterday, so it's not been out there long, and we'll see if the right offer comes along. People who see the car, it's up for 75 grand. If you know the car, you'll know why it's up for that sort of money, and the quality of the parts and the build, etc, etc. But the car is potentially for sale, and if a serious offer comes along, then there's some things I'd like to do with the money regarding the business and stuff like that, and doing another step further forward. But with regards to the business, I've been busy, I've been keeping myself going well, work's been coming in, work's been going out, it's all well and good, but as everyone knows now, the price of everything and the cost of living and everybody's bills day to day is going through the roof. And as much as I try and push more work, there's only so much I can do with a lathe and a mill, even if it's running flat out all the time. So I've been on the lookout for a second mill. Now this proves to be an issue because my budget is tiny. I bought my first mill from an auction, blind, needed some work. You guys know I've done some repairs on it. Same with the lathe that's still behind me. Bought that blind. Obviously, you know that turned out to be a dog when it arrived, and then a fortune later, reground bed, rebuilt, the thing's fantastic. The realisation that I can't afford another decent mill, or any decent machine in that sense. Like when I bought the lathe, I took a chance, it didn't pay off. I luckily had some other stuff that I could sell to fund making that, like equipment I could sell on to make that lathe into a good lathe. Just by selling the stuff that I didn't use, didn't want anymore and things like that. So I salvaged that one. So after the realisation, looking around, I can't afford a good mill. And to be honest, with some of the stuff in auction that I actually bid on, the prices are crazy for the machines that are untested, not seen running, can't be powered on, but they're still fetching strong money. So I went on the hunt for a machine that's got potential problems that people want to get rid of. And I've got one coming, and it will be in about half an hour. And I will show you guys when it arrives. And it's another Haas VF0E. It's got a couple of issues, one being a nitrogen counterbalance issue, which is going to be a damaged cylinder, leaky seals, one or the other, but that can be fixed. So we shall see. It's not bought blind. I've had a walk around video of the machine. I've been shown it power up with a fault regarding the emergency stop because the nitrogen canister is empty, so the head is on chocks. The machine's been sat a while. Hopefully there's no memory loss, but we shall see. But the other problem is that, all being well, and I won't confirm it until it arrives as such, or there's further confirmation and some paperwork done, is that I bought this mill, and then I was actually ideally looking for something that needed work a little bit bigger, like a VF2, or even better, a VF3. So I purchased this VF0E, the same as what I've got now, except with the nitrogen setup, on a Wednesday. On a Thursday, I come across a VF3 advertised. Typically the day after, looking for ages. Anyway, I went and saw this VF3. It's got some issues. It's got a gearbox problem. It's got potential of an intermittent, which I'd say is probably a vector drive issue. Possibly capacitors just wearing out in it, but we're not too sure. But I saw the machine running. They're using it day in and they're using it day out. Now, as a VF3, that could open up a lot of doors for me in the sense of bigger parts and bits and pieces. So, problem being is I just paid for the VF2 the day before. The VF0E the day before. So now I'm going to end up with two mills. Now, I haven't seen the VF0E working. I've only seen it powered on with the emergency stop issue. and was hoping that I can fix it. If I can't fix it, I'll nick the drives out of it and the vector drive out of it, and I'll keep it as a spare for mine. But the better option for me is if I can put some money into it, and I can check it all out, and I can get it working, and I can actually run some parts on it to make sure that it is good and it holds the tolerance. It's never going to be a brand new machine. But yeah, if I can spend some money on it and get it as a nice working machine, maybe, with any luck, I can get it running, solve the issue, and sell it on to somebody else and get my money back. And obviously whatever I have to spend on it to make it a good machine, whereas I'm buying it untested. So although it powers up, mechanically, ball screw wise, it could be shot. I don't know yet, and that's a risk I was willing to take, because realistically I haven't got any other option. I can't finance any sort of machine, and I can't commit to financing an expensive machine, so I had to buy what I could. Now if we skip a step, the reason I want another mill, it's not necessarily because I'm hugely busy. Some days I'm manic and could do with another one, but I could probably cope all the time. But what I'm finding is, when I get a run of batch stuff and there's something else that could be doing as well, or my own parts that I sell on eBay, stuff's getting left to one side, and the only way I can see myself trying to push and earn more money to try and keep up with the rising cost of everything, the electricity, the rent, the rates, the whole shebang that just keeps getting higher and higher for everybody, is that I need to run a second machine at the same time. If not, I can't see how I'm going to keep up with the bills, you know. Same as anyone who's working a 9-to-5 day job for somebody else. You can do overtime, all well and good. But if the bills keep rising, you can only do so much overtime. There's only so many hours in the week. There's only one of me, there's only one machine, and I can only charge so much money. And even if that machine is running 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, you're capped. So yes, I've got the lathe that I'll run as and when I've got a job on it, but not always. The mill takes up more time on some jobs, so I think having a second one is the cheapest way to try and bring in more money with the smallest layout, hopefully a smallish layout. Get another machine, run more parts. So if I've got one customer's work on one, I can be running my own stuff that I sell on the other one, whereas at the minute I'm running out of all the bits that I normally sell because customers' work is on the machine. And I might have a breakdown, which I've recently just had. If any of you follow me on Instagram or Facebook, you'll see a couple of days ago that I had a breakdown at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and at 2 o'clock in the morning I was just getting it fixed. Luckily I got it fixed, and we're back up and running the next day. But a couple of weeks before that I had another breakdown on the mill. Again, they were both on the mill, and that's 4 days lost. And it absolutely crucifies me, because at the time the only work I had was for the mill. So I didn't have any welding to do, I didn't have any turning to do, and I'm stuck. Hence why I've bought a machine with problems, that if the machine turns out to be no good, or I can't fix it and turn it into a running useful machine that I can either keep or sell, then I'll have the spares out of it, and then maybe, fingers crossed, if I have a breakdown, maybe I can nick a board or nick a vector drive and get myself back up and running same day, potentially, rather than waiting 4 days, 5 days, a week, or 2 weeks in the past when I've been down. So yeah, we've got one machine coming in half an hour. I'll show you what it's going to be like. But all being well, with the VF3, if that deal goes ahead, that won't be available for, we are currently the 14th of July, and that's not going to be available until the 18th to the 23rd of August, I do believe. So by the time it's picked up and brought to me, it's going to be the end of August, you know. And I'm still waiting for the confirmation that that machine is going to go ahead. I've seen it, I've looked at it, there's just a bit of paperwork got to be done and everything to put that into place to kind of sign and seal the deal. And then the VF0 potentially needs to go. I could squeeze both of them in here, but I don't need 3 machines by far. And to be honest, financially, I can't afford to keep both of these machines that come in. I need to get rid of one and keep one. They've both got issues. They're both the same age, 1997, I believe both of these ones are. So yeah, we'll see what happens, but this is going to create a few videos, so maybe it'll keep you interested, and we'll see how we get on. See you soon.